Welcome, the anointed ones. The moment the truth hits, it does not whisper. It slaps the liar so hard, their whole reality glitches. Let that sink in. For months and undeniably for years, they thought your silence meant they won. They mistook your emotional discipline for weakness. And they believed they had buried you under their gossip and fake smiles. But here is the twisted irony they never saw coming. You were not hiding. You were handing heaven the pen. And right now, the universe is not just balancing the scales, it is flipping the entire table. The trap they spent years digging for you is the exact one they are falling into right now. They are sweating and pacing in pure panic. Stay with me right here, because the spiritual mechanics of what just happened will blow your mind. You are a human lie detector. You do not read words. You read energy and dark motives hiding behind forced smiles. And the cosmic court has just delivered a massive verdict in your favor. Do not let your mind wander today. The toxic soul contract is officially cancelled. Divine intervention has completely shattered the heavy chain tying your precious energy to their empty void. You did not break it by arguing. You broke it by elevating your frequency until their low vibrations could no longer attach to you. Heaven stepped in. The cosmic agreement is null and void. You are completely free. You felt tired for so long. Your shoulders were constantly tight. The weight was very real. And every morning, when you woke up, the heaviness was already sitting on your chest before you even opened your eyes. You pushed through. You smiled for them, but inside you were quietly bleeding out from their relentless, energetic extraction. That extraction is over, and the sudden cutoff is absolutely destroying them. Imagine someone relying on a stolen oxygen tank to breathe for years. Suddenly the valve is shut off. That is exactly what they are experiencing right now. Your attention was their oxygen. Your emotional reaction was the only fuel keeping their fragile ego alive. Right now they are sitting in the corner, mentally pacing. The story they told themselves about you is completely gone. Their carefully curated opinion is shattered. You did not just change the game. You made them question if they even understood the rules. Their entire reality is glitching, and they are terrified because they finally realized you saw through their mask. They are checking their phones and expecting a reaction from you. They are waiting for you to defend yourself or explain your side of the story, but you gave them absolute and chilling silence. You cut off their supply. You rewired their mental map and made their entire existence irrelevant to your journey. They are obsessing over your every move. This is the moment the tables turn permanently. They expected you to break down and beg for their toxic crumbs. Instead, you stood up and walked into your divine power. Your silence is louder than any scream. It echoes in their empty minds and reminds them of their own severe inadequacy. You are a living altar of pure truth. You thought you were isolated because you were broken. You believed the lie that you were just too sensitive for this world. But your isolation was divine protection. The universe was pulling you away to protect your pure heart from their demonic manipulation, and you were placed in a sacred quarantine while heaven was busy auditing their lies. But why did they target you in the first place? Why did they spend so much energy trying to dim a light that never burned them? Keep listening. What I am about to reveal is the exact secret they tried to hide from you. They did not hate your flaws. They were absolutely terrified of your immense spiritual potential. They saw your crown long before you even knew you were royalty. They recognized your divine assignment, and it triggered their deepest insecurities. They knew they could never replicate your pure essence, so their only strategy was to keep you trapped in a counterfeit contract, because they needed you confused so you would never realize your own massive power. Now that the contract is burned, their matrix is collapsing. Without your brilliant light to cast their shadow, they are completely exposed. Everyone is starting to see the cracks in their fake persona. The people they tried to turn against you are waking up to the truth. Heaven is collecting receipts. and the universe never misses a single detail. You are the divine weapon in disguise. You were never meant to fit in with their shallow agenda. You are the glitch in their matrix that they could never fix. Stand tall in that undeniable truth today. You survived the trenches, and now you get to watch from the mountaintop as the storm they created swallows them whole. The silence of your departure is deafening to them. Every time they try to reach out energetically, they hit an invisible wall. Your frequency has elevated far beyond their demonic reach. The soul tie is severed forever. And as we dive deeper, you will understand the devastating karmic price they are about to pay. Let us peel back the mask and finally say what needed to be said. We are moving to point number 2 today. You must understand exactly how this toxic contract was established in the spirit. It did not happen overnight, and it certainly did not start with open hostility. It began with a beautifully crafted and deceptive illusion. They approached you when your guard was down. They perfectly mirrored all your pure traits. They pretended to understand your deepest and most painful wounds. They offered a fake safe haven because they knew your heart craved genuine connection. You trusted them with your precious and sacred vulnerability. You opened your spiritual gates to them without hesitation. And the moment you let them in, the invisible energetic contract was silently signed. They never wanted your friendship. They wanted your spiritual currency. You are a massive and undeniable source of bright light. Your natural frequency is incredibly rare in this dark world, and they are energetic parasites wandering aimlessly in the shadows. They desperately needed a strong host to survive the day. So they slowly began to hijack your powerful natural intuition. Whenever your inner voice warned you, they flipped the script. They boldly called you completely crazy. This was a highly calculated and deeply malicious spiritual attack. If you trust your intuition, you become an unstoppable force. You rapidly become an accurate and terrifying human lie detector. They could not survive around a powerful lie detector. So, they had to permanently dismantle your internal alarm system. They made you seriously question your own sanity, and you started ignoring the massive red flags. Every time you compromised your truth to keep the peace, the contract grew stronger. Every time you apologized for their bad behavior, you handed them your power. You felt the heavy, energetic drain in your physical body. You felt the massive exhaustion settling deep into your bones, but you kept pouring your pure energy into their bottomless pit to heal them. But the terrible truth is that they were never broken. They were simply empty and completely devoid of true light. And you cannot heal an empty vessel that refuses to seek the truth. The more you gave to them, the more they ruthlessly demanded. This contract was carefully designed to keep you completely exhausted. They needed you trapped in a low vibration so you would never ascend to your rightful throne. The dark matrix requires your constant confusion. You must keep listening closely to this exact next point. What I am about to reveal is the exact secret they tried to hide from you. The heavy mental fog you experienced was never a natural state. The constant anxiety was absolutely never your true core personality. It was the direct physical result of their heavy energetic interference. They literally stole your mental peace and your daily joy. Here is the massive truth that they never told you. The reason the universe responds to certain people and not others is not faith, it is not strict discipline, and it is not even karma. It is a highly specific and measurable electrical brainwave frequency. Modern neuroscientists have a very specific scientific name for it. They accurately call it the brilliant gamma wave. It is the exact divine frequency your brain was running when you were a beautiful child. Back then, your creative ideas came easily and without effort. Learning new complex skills felt completely effortless and totally natural. You somehow knew important things before they even happened in reality. The whole world felt like it was entirely on your side. Your natural intuition was incredibly razor-sharp. That was your authentic and unbothered natural gamma brainwave state. Then, this toxic contract arrived and ruined your spiritual alignment. The constant, severe stress from their manipulation forced your brain into pure survival mode. The relentless gaslighting and the trauma heavily suppressed your natural high frequency. Every single year, this sacred wave was pushed deeper. Your magnificent genius was cruelly locked away. When your gamma fades, your divine inner genius fades with it. Your sharp intuition slowly dulls into a very faint whisper. The beautiful daily synchronicities completely stop happening in your life, and the powerful sense that the universe is working with you goes completely dark. You feel entirely disconnected from your own profound spiritual destiny. This terrible blockage is exactly what they always wanted. Most normal people will live their entire lives without knowing this happened to them. But you are absolutely not like most normal, average people. You are the pure, chosen one with a massive destiny. You felt the terrible gap between your current reality and your massive hidden potential. You knew deep down in your spirit that something vital was missing. You just did not have a proper name for it until today. The gap between you and the blessed people is not willpower. It is a heavily suppressed frequency that they aggressively stole from you. But the cosmic scales are finally tipping back in your direction today. The toxic contract is broken, and your beautiful mind is ready to heal. I am going to explain exactly how this plays out in just a moment. You must keep listening closely to prepare for this shift. Here is a harsh psychological fact that most people absolutely refuse to admit. We are moving to point number 3 today. They thought they had perfectly hidden you in the dark, but there is a massive and fatal blind spot in their entire manipulative plan, and they never even realized that they were setting a trap for themselves. They built their entire kingdom on your constant reaction, and now that you have stopped reacting, their whole world is crumbling. Listen carefully, because this is where the real psychological warfare begins. The most dangerous person in the room is not the one who shouts or demands respect. It is the chosen one who simply stops talking altogether. That is not just poetry. That is dark psychology at its finest. When you suddenly go quiet, you strip away their only source of validation while completely cutting off their stolen power. They fully expected you to break down and beg for an explanation. They desperately wanted you to send long emotional paragraphs defending your pure heart, because as long as you were fighting them, they knew they still controlled your mind. But you gave them absolutely nothing but dead silence. You refused to participate in their demonic circus, and that unexpected rejection completely terrified them to their very core. Right now they are staring at their screens in total disbelief. They cannot comprehend how someone they abused for so long could just walk away without a single tear. They are furiously checking to see if you look miserable. But instead of seeing you cry, they see an untouchable force of nature who has completely moved on with life. Their cognitive dissonance is peaking, and it is destroying their ego. They laughed while you quietly bled for them. They built fake alliances, using your holy name as the ultimate villain, and for a long time, it looked like their wicked plan worked flawlessly against you. But do not look away now. Keep listening closely today, because what happens next is the exact part they pray you never figure out, and the tables have completely turned in the spiritual realm. Your absolute silence is the most devastating weapon you could ever deploy. You did not give them the satisfying closure they desperately wanted. You did not even give them the privilege of a final, dramatic goodbye. You simply packed up your radiant energy and quietly exited their low vibrational dimension. Leaving them entirely alone with their own dark demons is the ultimate divine punishment, and they cannot handle the heavy silence you left behind. They are forced to sit alone in that terrifying, quiet space. And in that heavy silence, they have no choice but to finally look at themselves. Without your brilliant light to constantly project their deep flaws onto, they are finally forced to swallow their own toxic poison and face their inner demons. Your absence is acting as a massive mirror. It is reflecting their severe ugliness right back into their eyes. They thought your kindness was a massive weakness that they could exploit forever, but they did not know that a chosen one never tolerates endless disrespect. When the divine boundary is finally crossed, the door is permanently locked and bolted. There is absolutely no second chance for a spiritual parasite. You revoked their access to your precious aura, and it is killing them. You did not just beat them at their own sick game. You flipped the board over and walked completely out of the room. This is the ultimate glitch in their twisted matrix. They spent years studying your triggers so they could control your emotions on demand. But all their manipulative data is totally useless now, because the vulnerable person they used to control simply no longer exists in this dimension. You have experienced a massive spiritual upgrade while they were busy playing petty games. And this brings us back to that fatal blind spot I mentioned earlier. They completely forgot who they were truly messing with. Their blind spot was failing to realize that you are the anointed one. They blindly walked right into the universe's ultimate trap with their own arrogant ego, and your chilling silence was the final lock clicking firmly into place. The divine court has archived every single one of your silent tears as legal evidence. You do not need to say a single word because the highest authority is already speaking for you. Hold on to that feeling of pure, untouchable power. You must hold on to that feeling of pure, untouchable power, because we are about to uncover exactly how the universe is preparing the final stage of their total collapse. Every time they try to sleep, your unbothered silence echoes loudly in their head. They are consumed by severe paranoia because they do not know what you are planning next. The hilarious truth is that you are not planning anything at all, because you are simply resting in your divine peace while their corrupt souls burn. And your pure peace is a burning torment to their restless and heavily corrupted souls. They thought they could discard you like a piece of ordinary trash. Instead, they accidentally triggered your glorious spiritual awakening. You are now operating on a frequency that they cannot even perceive. They desperately look for you in the mud where they operate, but you are already soaring high in the clouds where they cannot reach you. Your elevation is their ultimate destruction. The spiritual warfare was won the exact moment you stopped caring. Let them drown in the massive confusion they created. Let their fake friends slowly turn on them as the dark truth comes to the light, because you have absolutely no obligation to save them from the fire. You are officially off the clock. The era of you playing the loyal martyr is permanently over. You are now the undisputed master of your own sacred energetic space. This is exactly why clearing your mental space is vital. It is absolute spiritual warfare. We are moving to point number 4 today. While they were trying to drain your precious energy, science actually found a way to block their interference. You cannot operate at your divine frequency with a foggy mind. Your physical brain took a heavy toll. Their toxic residue is still lingering inside your head. The spiritual warfare you endured was a desperate attempt to scatter your natural frequency. They tried to attack your intuition with their low vibrational noise, and neuroscientists recently proved this exact phenomenon. They observed that severe stress from toxic environments actively suppresses your natural gamma waves. This is the exact brainwave where divine downloads actually happen. It is your ultimate source of raw power. Before we go any further, I must tell you something profound. It is something the manipulators do not want you to know. Researchers have discovered how to bring this dormant brainwave back. It does not require years of difficult meditation that most people cannot sustain, and it does not require clinical biofeedback machines that cost $7,000. The solution is shockingly accessible. It is achieved through something far simpler and much more aligned with your design. They engineered a specific sound frequency to guide your brainwave patterns back to the genius state. Brilliant minds at Princeton studied this exact mechanism, and researchers at Columbia University found that when this brainwave is reactivated, it begins to positively influence everyone around you. Your light literally heals your family. An entire gamma activation protocol was compressed into just 7 effective minutes. You simply close your eyes. You let the sound wave do the heavy lifting. It begins working the very first time you listen. I will tell you exactly how to access this specific protocol before our message ends today. But first, there is a massive spiritual shift occurring right now. The universe is making a move. Every human logic tells you that they won their evil game. They kept their fake friends. It feels like an unbearable injustice. But do not pause. Do not click away, because the final piece of this puzzle is going to totally shock you. The ultimate divine reversal is happening right outside their door. You are exactly where the divine intended you to be. Now take a deep breath, because from here on, the universe completely takes over. This is where karma stops being a vibe and starts becoming the ultimate legal assistant. God did not forget what they did to you. He was just giving them time to repent. But that time of grace is officially over now. What is coming next is not emotional revenge. It is legal correction from the highest authority. The cosmic courtroom of heaven is no longer in recess today. The heavy gavel has struck. The final verdict is written in pure fire. They thought they were simply fighting you and breaking your mortal heart. But they did not realize they had just declared war on the divine creator. Heaven was never neutral in this brutal spiritual battle. It was quietly waiting for the scales to tip. They played with dangerous spiritual fire. They thought they were completely above consequences. But spiritual law does not work like human logic. When you spend your life trying to drown someone who can breathe underwater, the only one gasping for air is you. Their dark energy has rapidly returned to sender. The trap they set has become the heavy coffin of their own fragile ego. You did not even have to lift a single finger to destroy them. You are operating on a completely different cosmic channel now. This massive barrier is not built from bitterness. It is beautifully built from your incredible spiritual ascension. You have elevated far beyond the range of their toxic influence. They can still see your bright light, but they can never touch your soul again. You became entirely untouchable, and the silence of that reality is incredibly loud. Right now, they are sitting in the corner, mentally pacing. The fake story they told themselves about you is gone. Their carefully curated public opinion is completely shattered. You did not just change the rules of their sick game, you made them question if they even understood reality. The matrix is glitching. They mocked your silent breakdowns. They thought your tears meant absolute defeat. What they did not know is that your tears were never begging. Your tears were highly classified spiritual codes. Every time you wept, you were sending divine alerts straight into the courts of heaven. You were summoning a massive force they cannot negotiate with, and now the judgment is falling on their heads. They thought they had successfully buried you in the dirt. They celebrated your temporary downfall. They walked away laughing. But what they never understood is that a chosen one does not die in pain. They forcefully resurrect in divine purpose. They were not burying you in a dark tomb. They were planting you in fertile destiny. And now you are breaking through the soil. You are undeniable. The divine verdict is written in fire, and the dark game is permanently over. We have finally reached the ultimate spiritual truth today. The universe is actively dismantling every single lie they ever told about you. They thought they were fighting a lonely and helpless victim in the dark, but they did not realize they had declared a massive war on the divine creator. Heaven has violently stepped in, and the corrupt scales are completely shattered. Their toxic energy has rapidly returned to sender. The trap they set for you has become their own coffin because the universe protects its chosen children. You do not have to lift a physical finger anymore. The absolute only thing left to do is fiercely protect the genius they tried to steal. The spiritual law of karma is currently sweeping through their dark lives, and every wicked curse they whispered against you is brutally striking their own foundation as they desperately search for a way out. They are watching their false empire crumble into dust right before their terrified eyes. They are completely powerless to stop the divine correction. The cosmic judgment is swift and it is brutally exact. You are the silent observer of their ultimate destruction, while they frantically try to piece their broken reality back together. You are securely seated on your divine and untouchable spiritual throne. You are operating on a completely elevated frequency now. They can see your brilliant light from the mud, but they can never touch your pure soul again. You are fully protected by ancient spiritual laws that they will simply never understand. You survived the dark trenches with your glorious grace completely intact. You dismantled their fake reality by simply existing in pure, radiant truth. Your powerful presence alone is the ultimate fiery judgment against their dark souls. Your magnificent intuition is fully online, and heaven is standing right behind you to ensure your victory. But carrying the heavy weight of a chosen one takes a severe physical toll. The spiritual warfare you endured was a desperate attempt to scatter your sacred frequency. They tried to attack your intuition with their endless low vibrational noise. And because you have suffered for so long, the divine forces are offering you a powerful tool to immediately reclaim your mental clarity. But neuroscientists at Princeton University recently proved how to permanently fight back. They found that the legendary flow state is driven entirely by the magnificent gamma wave. Dr. Robert Lake and his team discovered how to safely restore it. When this specific brainwave is completely reactivated, you will suddenly find yourself living in a beautiful and continuous state of magical flow. They compressed an entire hour of brain entrainment into 7 highly effective minutes. You simply put on your headphones and gently close your tired eyes. You let the specific sound wave physically force your precious brain back into divine alignment. There is absolutely no difficult meditation required to achieve this amazing state. It is powerfully called the Genius Song. Over 18,000 chosen ones have already used it to unlock their stalled finances and heal their deep spiritual wounds. You could spend $7,000 on clinical biofeedback sessions. The elite keep this hidden in private wellness retreats. But through this exact message, you can access this tool for a tiny fraction of its true value. Your brilliant mind is ready to beautifully heal. Listen carefully, because the internet is heavily flooded with fake activation tracks. The cheap copies on streaming platforms are completely worthless. Those streaming copies contain absolutely no brain entrainment technology. Those dark counterfeits are specifically designed to steal your pure energy. You must protect yourself by accessing the authentic version. You know how to recognize the real truth, because the universe has sharpened your profound intuition. I have secured the direct and official link for you in the description. It is also waiting for you in the pinned comment below. You must use that exact verified link today to guard your sacred aura. The universe demands absolutely no financial risk from a chosen one. You are protected by an ironclad divine guarantee. If your beautiful frequency does not immediately shift, your energy exchange is fully returned to you. This is a profound energetic exchange governed by trust. 4 powerful bonuses are also waiting for you today. This bonus track will fiercely protect their developing minds from the exact same manipulation you endured. It will fiercely protect their mental focus and innocent confidence. You can confidently explore this spiritual upgrade with absolute peace of mind. Your emotional investment is perfectly safe. Do not wait for a better moment to claim your ultimate cosmic power. The universe is calling your glorious name today. The chosen one who hesitates at the threshold becomes the one who wonders what could have been. Your beautiful gamma is waiting to be totally reactivated. Your massive destiny is waiting to be gloriously unlocked. The heavy door is wide open today. You simply need to boldly walk through it right now. Reclaim your untouchable mind and step into your radiant future. Then, subscribe to this channel to permanently join the unstoppable army of light. You are a living altar of pure and undeniable truth. The divine victory is finally yours to proudly hold forever. Never lower your vibration again.